Okay, so coming to a nice comfortable seat, and let's go ahead and scoot forward in the chair just a little bit so you can really find those sit bones, start to lengthen through the spine, and right away, let's just start to roll the shoulders a little bit, observing how they're feeling, what's going on. Kind of get some of the crunches out of the way. And switch directions here. And let's roll back again. And when you've kind of done enough of that, you can take your hands on your thighs, maybe peek down at your feet. Just make sure that you're landing with your knees over your ankles. Again, just put your mind's eye down into your sit bones so you're really rooting down there, and then allow your eyelids to close. Let's take a nice, smooth, deep, full inhale. And open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. A few more times like that, just at your pace, full, deep inhale. Maybe a little pause at the top. And then sigh the breath out, ha. Sigh out anything that might be stressing you out a little bit. The to-do list for this afternoon and evening, or maybe the rest of the week. See if you can sigh some of the tension out of the shoulders with that exhale. They love to creep up around the ears and help out. You might even imagine that somebody is just gently pressing down, so you just feel a little gravity there. And when you've done that exhale through the mouth a few times, you're going to go ahead and start to find that inhale through your nose and that exhale through your nose. Moving towards keeping the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale really nice and even. It can be challenging to find some days, so if you can kind of sense that they're not the same, maybe count. So inhaling to 5 or 6, and then exhaling to that same number. Maybe that will help you to find a little more steadiness. And really take in that sound of your breath so it becomes the most important sound. All of the stuff happening around you just melts into the background. It's almost as though it's not there, including the thoughts that might be knocking around. Sometimes those are the hardest to quiet. On your next inhale, see if maybe you can sit just a little bit taller. It might be like a millimeter more. It might just be a thought more. Just another moment or two here, soaking up the stillness, soaking up the sound of the breath. Quieting and focusing the mind. Good. So go ahead and gently blink your eyes open. And then you still have your hands on your thighs, so just keep them there. Maybe scoot them forward a little bit. We're going to just move into some really basic cat-cow. So as you inhale, you're going to rock forward on your sit bones. Think elbows squeezing in towards the sides of your waist a little bit here. Openness across your heart and chest. As we exhale, we move in the opposite direction. So towards the backs of the sit bones, chin towards chest. And you're going to continue like this. You're going to move at a pace that feels really good for you. You're following that rhythm of your breath. And just know that some days it feels better to move a little faster. That can be effective if you're feeling a little sleepy, a little spacey. Conversely, maybe if you're a little anxious and the brain won't quiet, see if you can stretch your breath out, slow it down. And then maybe you're bringing your attention, your mind's eye to your spine. What's going on there today? How are things feeling? Maybe especially bring your attention to your thoracic spine, so your neck area. Is it gripping? You see if you can let it release a little more. Let's just do a few more rounds here like this. Also, as we're moving here with the breath, maybe you're starting to notice this rhythm that happens, how good it feels. And for a lot of us, it actually kind of helps to quiet the mind a little bit as opposed to just being in a static pose. So that may or may not be true for you. You can just observe that. All right. So on your next inhale, come back to a nice tall spine. Let's work into the neck, but let's do a little hip opening at the same time, kind of do double duty here today. So a couple of options here. We're going to stretch into this right hip. You are welcome to come into your seated pigeon pose if that is available to you. Also, you could just come into more of a warrior two legs. So just finding any amount of hip opening, getting this external rotation here. Both are good places to be. So find the one that works for you. And then as you exhale, just start to drop your chin towards your chest. Again, really trying to lengthen the back of the neck. So trying not to grip. And of course, these muscles in the neck, they work really hard. They're tiny relative to the work that they're doing. They're holding up the skull, the brain. It's hard for them to let go. Tell them that it's safe to do so. See if you can find a little more elongation. See if you can just visualize your exhale going to those muscles in the back of your neck. And while you're doing this, notice if perhaps your shoulders are trying to help out. Soften them down if that's the case. And then bring your attention to that hip stretch. Does it feel like enough? Are you getting enough? If so, stay where you're at. If not, if you're in the seated version, maybe you press down on that right thigh. That might intensify things a little bit. Conversely, if you're in this variation that I'm doing, you can take your hand into your thigh and gently press back. And throughout all of this, the breath stays smooth and steady. Actually, it might not, but we keep checking in and we keep coming back to that place. So just see where you're at. All right, so let's inhale, lift the chin here. And then exhale, just drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. So going a little opposite of what we usually do. So we're getting this right hip opening, stretch through the right side of the neck, those scalene muscles. And we only drop that ear as far as feels right in your body. So it can be a fine line sometimes between doing enough and doing too much. Sometimes it's better to do too little. And then let's keep leaning this left ear off to the left, but perhaps tuck your chin a bit and just observe where the sensation shifts. You might get a little more in the back of your neck here. And again, you could still be pressing back with that right hand. You might be pressing down, depending upon what variation you're doing here. And you're breathing. All right, so keep your chin tucked, but do that little quarter turn so you come back to chin releasing towards your chest, so you're back in the center. And already things might be starting to feel a little more open in the backs of the shoulders and the neck. You might not be there yet. See where you're at. See if this is getting slightly easier. And then let's inhale. Lift our chin parallel to the floor. Okay, so wherever you're at, you're going to inhale, take the arms out wide. Really reach up. And then let's bring our left fingertips to our right wrists. So pull up on that side. Feels like you're getting a little longer. Keep rooting into your sit bones. Tiny, tiny lean to the left. And you could stay here like this if it feels helpful to keep pulling up on that wrist. If you would like, you could release your left hand down. Might even grab your chair or take your hand to your thigh. Maybe that helps you to find a little more leverage to wrap those left ribs up. So this is kind of like a reverse warrior. You could think of it like that. Breath smooth and steady. Beautiful. Good. As we inhale, really root into those sit bones. Come back up. Arms out wide. Take one more inhale here. Feel shoulder blades releasing down your back towards your sit bones. And then as you exhale, little twist to the right. And then you can release your hands down. So you can take that right hand, grab a piece of chair behind you. Left hand can come to the inside of your left thigh. If you were in the seated variation, it might even come all the way to the outside of that right thigh. Just kind of gauge it, see where you're at. Shoulder heads pressed back, little lift of the sternum up towards the ceiling. And then here again, let's just drop our chin down towards our chest. So with the arms in this twisting configuration, again, this might feel a little different. Might be getting in some different places. Things might be opening up a little more, so you're going a little deeper. Got a couple more breaths. On an inhale, go ahead and lift your chin. On an exhale, go ahead and untwist here. So you're bringing your torso to face forward. And we're going to take that to the second side. And we're going to see if I can remember what I just did. All right. So again, finding that hip opening. Might be just a simple warrior two leg. Perhaps you're crossing your ankle above your knee. They're both good variations to do. And just remember that you can always do one variation on one side and a different variation on the other side. That's completely permissible. The world will continue to spin. And then right away on this side, how does it feel different in your body? So you're just noticing that. And we're going to start to drop our chin towards our chest. We've been here several times. Again, it might be feeling a little easier. Put your brain in your shoulders. Make sure they're not helping out. And then start to notice how those hips are feeling, especially that left hip. Do you need a little more? So pressing down, using the strength in your left arm to gently press and help to release that left knee down towards the floor. Or conversely, if you're in your warrior two, you're kind of pressing back. Getting really curious about the sensations happening in your body. This is one of the great gifts of our yoga practice. There's many, but that's a good one. And we kind of hone this skill when we're practicing on the mat together, but it's definitely a skill that we can use throughout our life. We start to notice little aches and pains and maybe get curious about why that might be happening. Maybe there's some adjustments we can make. All right, so we're going to inhale, lift our chin parallel to the floor. Exhale, dropping that right ear towards your right shoulder. So there's a lot happening on this left side right now. Feeling that stretch in those scalene muscles. Feeling that stretch in the hip. It's almost like we're killing two birds with one stone here. Check in with your breath again. All right, and then from here, start to tuck your chin. Just notice how it is subtle, but it does shift where you're getting that stretch. And again, how is this side different? From here, we're going to start to slowly keep our chin tucked, but come back to center. Beautiful. Inhale, chin lifts. Take an exhale here. And then let's inhale, reach the arms out and up. And then right fingertips to left wrist, so you're kind of just getting lots of length on that side. Root into your sit bones. You don't have to tilt very far to the right to start to feel some interesting things in that left side of your body. There's a little twist here. As much as we're lengthening through this left side body, we're kind of wrapping these right ribs up towards the ceiling. If this is useful to you to hold on to the wrist, continue to do so. If you would like to release that right hand down, you're also welcome to do that. So finding this reverse warrior pose, variation. Maybe you're looking up underneath that top arm. Feel those shoulder blades releasing down your back, even with the arms, this configuration, really nice. We're going to inhale, come on up to center, take an exhale here, really reach through your fingertips. One more deep inhale. And then we exhale, twist to the left. And again, just go ahead and release that left hand back behind you. Right hand can come to the inside of the right thigh, maybe to the outside of the left thigh. So you're just using your hands to help you find a little leverage, to help you wrap in a little deeper. And then again, we start to tuck our chin here. Do the shoulders want to help out as you do so? Mine do. See if you can just keep relaxing them down. Breath smooth and steady. Breath is really the kind of, it's a thread that weaves all of these poses together. Go ahead and inhale, lift your chin parallel to the floor. And as we exhale, we unwind here. We're going to come back to our mountain pose. So just find that nice, comfortable seat in your chair. Just refresh your posture. Just make sure you're landing with your knees over your ankles. Let's go ahead and do just a little more neck work here. Just kind of moving with the breath. So as you exhale, chin drops towards your chest. Inhale, lift up. And let's just go opposite today since we already started that way. Exhale, left ear towards left shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale, right ear towards right shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale, chin towards chest. Inhale, lift. So it's like a little neck vinyasa here. Exhale, left ear towards left shoulder. Good inhale. Exhale, right ear. Right shoulder, beautiful. Inhale up to center. So this next couple of rounds, if you want to release your fingertips down by your side, inhale, chin, or exhale rather, chin towards chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left ear. Inhale up. Exhale towards that right ear. Inhale to center. Let's do 2 more complete cycles here. You just move with your breath. I'm gonna grab a sip of water here because it feels like I'm gonna choke. Sorry about that. Little tickle in the throat. We're going to just hope that that's the ragweed that's blooming everywhere. I don't think I can catch the tail end of a cold from Zoom, so it's not Martha's fault. All right, so go ahead and finish up on your right side. Come back to center, pardon me. And then just close your eyes here for a moment, sitting nice and tall in your mountain pose. Checking in. Noticing how you're feeling. And then let's just move into a little flow here. So just moving into our Surya Namaskara, Ardha Surya Namaskara, half sun salutes. If you do have blocks, this is a fantastic place to set those up on either side of your feet. This is just called bringing the floor closer. You don't need them, but they can be nice to have. All right, let's release our arms by our sides. Really root into your sit bones, root into your feet. So you're sitting nice and tall. We're going to try to keep all of this length through each pose. As you inhale, you can stretch arms out and up or forward and up. It just depends on what feels good. As you exhale, a couple of options. You can swan dive in, or maybe you use your hands to help roll on down. Fingertips to those blocks or to the floor. As you inhale, this is where blocks are really nice. You can press your hands into the blocks. It's like a little cobra pose. Also might have hands on shins or thighs. Exhale, fold back in. And then inhale, option to reverse swan dive out here. That's a little core work. You can also just roll on up. And as we exhale, hands release down. They can come down the midline. You can take them out wide. So you can really mix and match these sun salutes, make them be your own. We're going to do a few more. Reaching up, Utthita Hastasana into Dasana, extended mountain. And exhale, fold in. Inhale, lengthen. Lovely. As you exhale, you fold back into your Uttanasana. Rooting down. We stretch the arms out and up, or you roll on up. Exhale. Hands come together at your heart. So let's do 3 more of these. I'm not going to cue you. I just want you to be able to flow with that sound of your breath. You're welcome to close eyes if that feels good. Just take up space here. Find this sense of grace and ease in your body. Enjoy these Ardha Surya Namaskaras. In my humble opinion, these are good medicine. It's hard not to smile a little bit when finding a little flow. Soak up that sound of your breath. It's the best soundtrack going. Good, and there's no rush. When you're done with that third round, you land in your mountain pose, palms together at your heart. Again, close your eyes. Observe how your body's feeling. So there's going to be some physical sensations happening here. You might feel your heart beating a little faster, a little harder. You might feel that heat on your skin. The breath may have sped up. And so just taking all of that in. Good. So let's go ahead and gently blink our eyes open, release the hands down. So if you do have your blocks, go ahead and I would suggest putting them on the tallest height and kind of walking them forward. We're going to do a little crescent pose here with the option of folding in. So kind of getting a pyramid pose stretch. So legs might stay exactly as they are. If you would like, you could extend that left leg to straight. And we do want to continue to keep our hips about, or our legs about hips distance apart. So hips are neutral. You could take your hands to your hip bones. They're going to both be facing forward. So this is different than our warrior two pose or our triangle pose. Feel those sit bones really release down, press into your mat. Release your arms by your side. As you inhale, take the arms out and up. So just classic, simple crescent pose. Pretend that somebody is pulling you up gently by your wrists. But you're kind of resisting that by releasing your shoulder blades down. Little cobra pose in the upper body. So you're feeling that lift of the sternum up towards the ceiling. You might be bringing your gaze up. Not going to feel really good. So we've done some neck work, but we've not released it back yet. So see what that feels like. You might even press your palms together. And then from here, let's go ahead and exhale. Bring the hands towards heart center. Start to hinge forward. And then take one hand to each block. If you don't have blocks, if you're watching this on YouTube, hands on thighs works. You need not go very deep, but this is a really nice hamstring stretch. So you go as far as you need to get some of that sensation. This is also a really nice stretch through the spine. I'm feeling a lot in the lower back right now, so you might be experiencing some of that as well. You can always walk the blocks further forward, kind of just depending upon how you're built. Fingertips might even be resting on the floor. Wherever you're at, you just want to make sure that you feel safe and stable. So again, Just press back into those sit bones again. And then what's going on with the breath? Always returning to that inhale through the nose, that exhale through the nose. And you're free here maybe to drop the chin towards the chest again. So almost rounding in the spine, especially the thoracic. How does that feel in your body? It's interesting for me. I'm actually getting a deeper stretch in my outer left thigh as I do that. I guess it would be right thigh. Good. So as you inhale, lengthen forward. So kind of gazing forward. It's like this Ardha Uttanasana feeling. And then you can take one hand back and then the other. Maybe bring your palms back together at your heart. See if you can engage your core with a nice flat back, lifting your heart. Just upright yourself. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and stretch the arms out wide. Let's just find a little simple twist here. So exhaling, twisting to the right, releasing hands down, and finding a little leverage. So as you press back, shoulder heads press back, shoulder blades release down your back. And this time you might be moving towards bringing your gaze out over that right shoulder. Got a couple more breaths here. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, unwind, come back to center. Good. So if you have that left leg extended, you can bend that knee. And again, you'd just be staying with both legs like this throughout. If you'd like to extend right leg to straight, you're welcome to do so. Again, just make sure that you're not on a tightrope. So we're on train tracks here. Legs are hips distance apart. You're rooting down into your sit bones. You're getting all of that beautiful length through the sides of your waist. Inhale, take the arms out and up. Crescent pose. So just nice and simple. Imagine somebody is pulling you up by your wrist, but at the same time, you're kind of resisting that action by letting your shoulder blades get really heavy and release towards your sit bones. These look lovely. Feel that lift of your sternum, so much so that you might start to lift your gaze, slightly drop your head back. You might even press your palms together. A lot of that is dictated by shoulder flexibility. So if it's not happening in your body, it's no big deal. Good. We're going to take one more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, hands are going to come to heart center. Inhale, feel that length again. Keep rooting into your sit bones. Stay really heavy there as you start to hinge forward. Good. And then again, maybe hands to thighs as you fold in. Maybe you use your hands on those blocks. Maybe fingertips are on the floor. We're all going to be at different areas. What we are looking for is this nice stretch in that right hamstring. It's a big muscle. It's pretty tight for most of us. And if it does feel too intense, a little bend in that right knee is going to take some of that work out. So there's so many ways where we can adjust and modify the poses. And of course, every time we practice, our bodies feel a little different. There's different things going on. So we're always making adjustments. So we may do the same poses over and over again, but they're always a little different. You might be releasing your chin towards your chest here for a few breaths. And again, just notice how that kind of just shifts where you're getting sensation in your body. Good. As you inhale, start to lengthen forward. Bring your gaze forward so you're more in that half forward fold here. And then we're going to use our core to help us come up. So this time, again, maybe hands to heart center, or maybe you take your hands here out of hip, squeeze in. So elbows really squeeze in towards each other. Beautiful. Rise on up. And then we're going to inhale, take the arms out wide. Just finishing up with our twist here as you exhale, twist to the left. Really reach out through those hands and then release them down. So the spine stays nice and long here. Shoulder heads pressed back. So there's a little cobra pose present here. It's a little twisted variation, but it's there, that lift of the sternum, openness across your heart and chest. You might be moving towards bringing your gaze out over your left shoulder. Got a few more rounds of breath. Good deep inhale. Exhale, unwind, come to center. And then we're going to just find our mountain pose here. We're going to move in towards some form of Shavasana. So you might stay exactly like this. It might feel good to you, particularly if you have like a table or a desk or a chair, to fold in. Just finding a supported child's pose, really relaxing, lengthening in the spine. Of course, you're always welcome to do a classic Shavasana laying on the floor if that's something that's available to you. So let kind of your state of mind be more important than what the shape of the pose looks like. So find that Shavasana state of mind where you're kind of surrendering here. You're letting go of this idea of having to work, of controlling the breath. When you let the breath find its own natural rhythm, and just soak up this stillness, really allowing the body, the brain to assimilate the work that we've done. Shavasana. Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityomamritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Take a deeper inhale. And open your mouth aside, the breath out, let it go. Ha. Start to bring some gentle movement back to your body. So you're wiggling, stretching, circling ankles, wrists. And you will eventually land with your palms in a pile on top of your heart. And so send yourself love and gratitude, send your body love and gratitude. Sometimes the hardest part is showing up. It's not always easy, but it does make a difference. So just soak up all of this goodness, this space you've created. Promise yourself that you're going to carry this good feeling with you into the rest of the day, week, weekend ahead. And finally, just bow your head with a smile. Terrific work today.